Yeah, what's going on YouTube? We are back with another ducktail, duckbill, whichever you want to call it, spoiler build. Now, I guess I kind of messed up when I released the first part of this video. Now, I bought this trunk here, and the idea was basically to build this over the winter, which I have been doing, but I think I may have jumped the gun and put out part one a little too early. I've gotten a lot of questions asking what's going on with the duckbill spoiler, and truth is, I've just been taking my time. But the weather, well, today it's not too bad. It's actually a little cold out, but it's getting pretty close to summertime to put on the summer wheels, so I do want to get this thing finished. So in today's video, we're going to be putting down some fiberglass, getting all of these cracks filled in here, as you can see, and pretty much sanding and hopefully priming today. Now, I'll probably wait to wrap it in another video, but for today's video, what we're going to be doing, I picked up some of this Bondo glass, which is short strand reinforced fiberglass filler. From what I've researched, this short strand fiberglass reinforced stuff is good, as you can see, for marine auto use. So I think for me, that's probably going to be the route that I take. Now, I was reading the label here, and in order to fill in all the small little fine holes, they do want you to actually use the real Bondo, but for me, I'm probably going to end up wrapping this trunk. Now, I was going to paint it, but you guys know that this trunk was actually a little bit beat up. So as much as I'm going to get to filling, and I'll probably learn a little bit of body work in this process, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this surface here 100% flat. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is doing like a fake carbon fiber wrap over it. That way, there's a little bit, you know, with the carbon fiber, hopefully it'll mask the imperfections. Got a couple of spatulas here, a little bit of sanding discs, and I think what I'm going to do is probably mix some of this up and yeah, just slowly start putting it on. And once I get everything on the way that I want, probably start sanding a little bit. So I guess today we should pretty much be finishing this spoiler off, man. Alrighty, so I have the first coat on here. Now, some parts, the stuff was getting kind of hard. I made one little batch, and I used that really quick in this middle area, so I figured I'd make a second batch with a lot of material, and near the end of it, it was kind of getting a little bit hard, so I kind of had to rush to get it on. But as you can see, I pretty well, there's a little bit of weld you can see there, but that's all going to get filled in. I didn't do anything to the backside except for what dripped. So what they say to do is let this dry 15-20 minutes, come in and then take down, you know, all these big like chunks, and then once I get everything relatively smooth, I'm gonna go back and put on a little bit more. Once I get this backside the way that I like it, I'll probably flip it around and do the other side. But for now, things are going pretty smoothly. But yeah, I guess I'm going to let this dry for a little bit and start sanding. Alrighty, so I just have the front side sanded down kind of roughly. You can see here I need a little more body filler in some spots. I was using a 220, I believe, for most of the areas, and then that kind of burnt out on my palm sander. So then I went to a more of a fine grit. Actually, no, I started with 120 and then 220s was the fine grit. Had a hard time chewing through some of this heavy stuff. But what I think I'm going to do is probably head back to the store, Canadian Tire, get a couple more heavy grit sanding discs. That way I can knock some of these heavy areas down a little easier. And then I'm going to flip this around, probably concentrate more on the back. What I'll do is I'll fill in this gap right here. I'll also get this evened out just a little bit, and I'm going to build up a bit more along the back here so that I can pile up a bit on this top edge and kind of have a, you know, have a fiberglass edge across this lip as opposed to this really hard metal, which I feel might cut through the vinyl if it's not, you know, nice and sanded down. So we're going to need to get a couple more, you know, coarse pieces of sandpaper and I think we'll be making pretty short work of this here. Okay, so I pretty much went crazy this time around. Filled up pretty much all the gap going across. You can kind of see the lines still here. I'm probably not going to sand too much. Just flatten everything down on this side. Got a little bit of buildup here and there, but all around I've got pretty much all of the seams completely filled. I'm going to leave this lip to harden up, and then hopefully what I'm going to do is get my just little rubber trowel and pretty much try to round the edge all the way across. So like I said, we don't have that really hard metal edge there, but I'm thinking this is looking pretty good. Now like I said, this line right here is going to be the hardest for me to build up. Now I got a lot of material here I'm gonna actually have to sand down. One thing I've noticed with this stuff, a lot of sanding involved. That's why I got the heavy grit sandpaper. So I'm just gonna let this all kind of harden up here a little bit, and we're gonna start sanding everything down, man. Alrighty, so I'm out here pretty much sanding like crazy. Here's the underside. Not too bad. You can see a couple high spots still that I gotta sand down there. We got a pretty nice lip right here as far as everything goes. There we took it down to the metal. Here looks like a little bit of a gap, so I'm gonna grind that down, probably refill that. Little gap right there, still got to fill that hole. But all in all, everything is looking really good. This is honestly probably the worst part about this whole thing. I almost wish that I had just painted it and got it wrapped, but I think it'll look much better and it'll last longer once I get everything body filled. So I'm just gonna keep working at it and see what happens. Alrighty, so been sanding for quite a while now. I didn't film too much. Just kind of a dusty, messy process. As you can see here though, I've got everything sanded down pretty much the way that I wanted. I got a couple high spots, low spots. So I'm just gonna go around, finish that up right now. Let me just get out of the wind there. Been doing a little more research, and from what I've read online, it'd probably be best to use a like kind of a filler more designed for finishing. So I ended up going out and getting some of this professional gold Bondo filler, and I'm gonna use this for kind of the finishing product, whereas the fiberglass was kind of to get the general shape. And then once I'm done, I'm gonna use some filler primer. Now, like I say, I did a bit of research just over the last couple days, and I find that using this stuff is probably going to give me a better end product. So I'm just going to get out there, start sanding those high points, and then I'm going to probably mix some of this gold filler. Then once I put that on, I'll probably sand the last final product by hand just so I can get the general shape that I want. But in the meantime, I'm just going to get back out there and sand. Like I say, I'm not going to put any clips in here. It's very dusty process, and I just don't want to mess up the lens or anything. So I'm just going to get out there, start sanding, let you guys know when I'm done. Alrighty, so I pretty much filled up everywhere that I wanted to fill. I put it on kind of heavy, pretty much in this whole area. So what I'm hoping I can do is get in there with a sanding block by hand and just kind of smooth everything out perfect. As you can see, I built up quite a bit of an edge on both sides here. So my hope is once this dries up, I'm going to let this dry for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then I should be able to come in here. And this is a little bit softer than the fiberglass, so my hope is that I can come in with a hand sander, not use any electrical sander, and then that will hopefully be enough for me to perfect all of these little edges. But I'm super happy, man. I just can't wait for this stuff to dry. I just want to do it now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take a break, see what happens after. Okay, so I have managed to sand this down to a pretty what I think's pretty acceptable level here. Now if you run your hand across the front here, everything's super smooth. We got a bit of a low spot right here, but everything else is super smooth. That's it. Pretty much a low spot here. Running my finger across this edge here, we got low spot there, but everything else here, very smooth. These edges, now I didn't get this, it's getting a little bit cold out, so I'm just finishing up for the day, but if you have a look at this edge right here, there's like barely any wobbles in it. Before it was like on this edge a little wobbly, but I managed to get it pretty straight. And all of this stuff right here is basically just low spots. So I was sanding this with a block and a piece of sandpaper, and this is pretty well smooth going all the way across. So I mean, I'm pretty happy with this finish. Like I say, I'm just finishing up for the day today. Then what I think I'm gonna do, I mean, already useful in that, right? So what I think I'm gonna do is, like I say, wrap it up for the day. I'm gonna look at this trunk a little bit more over the next day or so until I get some nice enough weather to paint here. So really the only thing left to do is just do a few finishing touches, like a few pits here and there, and then I can hit it with some high fill primer. Now I'm not too sure how high fill it is. Like right here there's some pits, here we got some, I don't know if this is showing up on camera, there it is right there, just a little bit of minor pitting. I'm gonna try to fill up as much of that as I can, and then hopefully with that high fill we can get a nice smooth surface, and yeah, I guess prime it and hopefully get this bad boy wrapped. Okay, so I have everything sanded pretty much the way that I want it. I'm not going to be doing any more sanding. I have the scale here though, and before I paint it, I just want to weigh this thing. That way I'm, you know, putting it on and off the scale. I'm not going to chip any of the paint or primer that I put on this. So I'm just going to throw this thing on the scale right now. Now I'm not sure what the stock trunk weighs. I'm going to have to wait to weigh that, but okay, so that's on. I'm just going to hold it up, and it looks like about 17.5 pounds. 20. It's me leaning on it. We'll call that 17.5 pounds. Like I say, I'm not too sure what the stock trunk is going to weigh, but when I put this thing on, I'm definitely going to throw it on the scale, let you guys know. It's a beautiful day outside today. I'm ready to paint, man. So I'm pretty sure I already said this. Like I say, I just got some Duplicolor filler primer, and I'm hoping this is going to fill in any of the gaps, if any, that I missed. And if we have to, we'll just sand, find our high spots, and maybe put down a little more primer. But I'm pretty excited, man, so I'm going to put the camera down, show you guys what it looks like with the first coat of primer. Okay, so I got the first coat of filler primer. I put it on kind of thick. Now on the back, I kind of got a little crazy grinding this whole area. I don't know why I thought I was going to have to fiberglass onto this area, but I didn't need to go that far. I mean, it's looking a little bit better. Now that everything's one color, you can kind of notice all the little imperfections, but as far as this big dent goes, like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm pretty happy with that, man. So I'm going to let this dry. It says give it about 10-15 minutes between coats. I'm going to put another coat on, and then I'm going to hit this with some black primer. Now, there's still quite a few lines here. My sanding was a little bit poor, but like I say, what I'm going to do is probably get this thing wrapped, but I mean, it looks pretty good to me. That doesn't say much, though, because my standards aren't very high. But yeah, man, we're just gonna keep going on with the filler and see how it looks. Alrighty, and this is what it looks like with about 2 coats of primer. Now this is the same primer that I used on my bumper for the Ultima. I got away with it on the Ultima bumper, but this looks like, obviously, we have some serious zebra striping, but I mean, I was hopefully gonna try to put this on the car the way it is, but I just to be honest. I don't know if this is even coming through in the camera with the sun. Oh yeah, you can see it. To be honest, I'm not too happy with the finish of just this paint, but at least you guys get to see what it looks like all painted up. I'm by no means a body guy. I kind of took on this project to, I don't know if this wind is too much. I kind of took on this project just to get used to my welder and everything like that, which I definitely learned a few things as far as that goes, but body work I'd say definitely is not my forte, and it's probably something that I'm gonna steer away from in the future. Just the whole body filling, sanding and everything like that, trying to get stuff straight, it's a very tedious process, and I don't know, I could have spent honestly another probably 5 or 6 hours prepping this, sanding everything down, but I don't know. I don't have that kind of patience. Give you guys another little walk around here. I don't know if the sun's wrecking the shot, but like I say, the plan was for me to put this on the car as is and then drive it to the wrap shop, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. And the reason that I'm not gonna do that is because I picked up this hood right here for about 50 bucks, which is definitely a bonus. That's the same price that I got the trunk for, and I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna cut some vents into this thing, man. So what I want to do is get this project on the go, and then once I get this hood finished the way that I want it, I'll put this and the trunk on the car, and then I can take it to the, you know, the wrapping shop or wherever I'm gonna take it, get everything wrapped. Now, because this thing is not perfect, I decided I'm probably gonna go with like a matte carbon fiber type of wrap. I think that's really gonna hide the imperfections, mainly this back line right here. I did actually pretty good with this top line right there. I'm really happy with that. There's a few little scratches and pits that I'm probably gonna fill in before I take it in, just with some body filler, just very small amounts. But other than that, everything else turned out pretty good. I just got it propped up on some washer fluid just so you can get like the angle of what it'll look like on the car. So my plan was to put it on in this video, but like I say, I think I'm gonna wait. Everybody was just really excited to see this finished off, so I figured I'd make a vlog for this weekend, just showing you guys what it looks like all finished. So bottom line, I'm into this for, the trunk was free because I obviously bought it for 50, sold the spoiler for 50, so that pretty much scratched itself off. The metal was $50, and about $80 for sanding materials, body filler, and some primer and everything like that. We'll call it $150 just to be safe, just in case I missed a few things. So all in all, $150 for this trunk I don't think is that bad, considering I know the trunks out there right now, unless you live in the States, you can get a good deal on a trunk in the States. But I mean, you try shipping one of those trunks here to Canada, you're paying at least $1,000 bucks. But that's for the legit trunk. You can obviously get a wing from a different car and mold it in. You know, all of this stuff costs money, and I did this, you know, I did this on my own kind of budget, and I don't know, I was kind of learning along the way. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Definitely, if you guys enjoyed this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. I got that hood in there, so we're going to be doing a little bit of work with that. I'm going to be wrapping this. Hopefully, I can get a half-decent deal on it. And then we'll be putting them both on the car. And I got a few other custom projects on the go, but I'm not going to give any of those away because I want those to be a surprise. So yeah, my car is going to be super riced out come summertime, man. And I think that's about it. So probably gonna put an end to this one. I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. And we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.